At T-Mobile, our critical mission is providing unparalleled 5G coverage for when connectivity is mission critical. Introducing T-Priority, America's best 5G network experience for first responders, even in times of congestion. More capacity, faster speeds, better coverage. T-Priority from T-Mobile, built for tomorrow's emergencies, ready today. Discover more at t-priority.com.
For qualifying organizations on eligible rate plans, coverage not available in some areas and may be impacted by emergencies.
Every Pokemon Episode Ever podcast is now on YouTube. Go on YouTube and search Every Pokemon Episode Ever podcast and click that subscribe button to never miss an episode. Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic episode of the Every Pokemon Episode Ever podcast. This is episode 75, everybody, and I am one of your hosts, Wrestling Chris G. And on the other line, with me today, do 3 episodes, they said, is my bad to the bone brother. It's good old Dougie Fresh. Dougie, my man, how you doing?
It'll be fine, he said. We got to make up for yesterday, he said.
But we're doing it. We're chucking away, and boy, oh boy, are we doing it, bro.
We're doing it. We're doing something.
I know. So, how are you doing, Doug? I feel like this is the final of our 3 episodes that we are recording back to back, and I have my Sword and Shield fusion pack, and I'm hoping that it's a lucky one because I want to end on a high note. But now that I'm saying that, it's going to be a dead pack.
I have my final Chilling Rain pack, and I'm not saying diddly.
All right. So you have a Chilling Rain. I have a Fusion Strike. So hopefully one of us gets lucky today, Doug. What have you been doing with your Pokemon cards, if you don't mind me asking?
They're sitting on my nightstand.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I suppose I'm just waiting. If I'd have been thinking and we weren't trying to do a quick handoff the other day, I might have given them to you. So maybe I'll make a note the next time I see it.
No, they're yours. They're yours, bro.
Well, I mean, yeah, but what am I going to do with them?
So, find something. I don't know. Give them to your cousin or something. Say, hey, here's some Pokemon cards.
Here's some Pokemon cards.
So,
get yourself a college education.
So yeah, I wanted to have a hot topic that's kind of irked me a little bit in the past 24 hours. But because you said you got the same notification too, bro. I cannot update my laptop. I have a gaming laptop, a freaking Acer laptop, everybody. And it's really nice. But apparently my processor chip on the inside will not let my laptop update to the brand new Windows 11, which is bullshit. Cuz this is a top class laptop.
I mean, mine, I guess I could understand a little bit because mine is just it's a tablet essentially. But, I mean, even so, it's not that old.
Exactly. You would think that our stuff would work with it, but no, it doesn't want to work.
Gotta buy yourself a new system. I don't wanna.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this because Windows 10 works perfectly fine for me. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to hear from everybody else out there. Are you mad that Windows is kind of forcing? Because I kind of feel like people that had like Windows 7 or Windows 8 and they got the free update to Windows 10, like it didn't matter if we had a processing chip or whatnot. They just updated our shit. Like what is so powerful about Windows 11 that needs a more powerful chip? I'm just wondering.
I don't. Pardon me.
Bless you.
I'm allergic to bullshit.
For real.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody. But on a real note, today's episode is episode 75. It is called Bad to the Bone, or translated from Japanese, Garagara's Bone Club. Which one do you like,
Uh,
Doug?
I Bad to the Bone reminds me of a song of a of a famous song, so I'd probably go with that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So, all right. But yeah, that is this week's episode. It premiered December 3rd, 1998 in Japan, and here in the States premiered October 16th, 1999. And you want to know something, Doug? This is the last filler episode before
Right.
entering our Pokemon League episodes. It's about to happen, everybody, and we do have a special guest that will be on for those. We actually have three guests lined up, Doug, for our next few episodes that we're going to be doing. Um, we have. Should I start naming off some of these guests, Doug?
No,
Now that it's closer.
no, because it's not. Something could happen tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes, that is 100% true. When you download the episode, um, you will you will know. Well, I honestly one of them's locked down.
Oh yeah, one of
That
them's fine.
um we are bringing back Mr. Carl Dutton, everybody. Um, and he, if you listened to previous episodes, he I believe was on our Kangaskhan episode, and
Yes.
he is the writer and producer of X-Men, the audio series. I was about to say Pokemon, Power Rangers, the audio drama, and he's also done he's also dived into the Batman field when he was first starting off as well. So I mean, he is coming back. He is going to be doing a Pokemon League episode with us, and he said he's excited. So I'm excited to have him back. But it will not be next week, everybody.
No.
I will give you fair warning as to which Pokemon League episode that he is going to be doing. But yes, he is one of three special guests that is coming up. So, all right, Dougie, my man. Um, October 16th, my date, and if people were wondering from last week, mine is both in 1992, and I'm not sure which one. I'm gonna follow up because I'm not gonna leave everybody on a cliffhanger. Mine is from 1992, Doug. When is yours?
2019.
Oh, okay. So I am going first. Take a shot, everybody. Woohoo! So 1992. This was the pilot filmed in. Let's see. Gilligan's Island TV pilot filmed in 1964 is first shown on TV on TBS. That is weird. So they filmed something in 1964, but they did not show it until 1992.
Well, it's the original pilot.
Okay, the original
Like
pilot.
they found it. Like this. Oh, this is
Oh, the lost episode.
There you go. Like the Lost pilot. There you go.
Okay, okay. I know they like to do that a lot with a lot of shows. I remember when they did that with SpongeBob one year when I was real little, and they had a phone number that you would call in and you get to predict how the ending of the SpongeBob episode was, and they would play the ending that got the most votes. No, I mean they fully had that already in the can, and
Yeah.
they just wanted people to call in to see how many people would actually call into the phone line. But I was one of those kids that called in. I'm not, I will talk about that. Do you remember that when that happened when we were little?
I remember the scuttlebutt, but I didn't call in. I can tell you that much for free.
I I did. I did call in, and because they gave us, I think, two or three different endings, and it was the episode where SpongeBob it was the lost episode where SpongeBob was with Patrick and Squidward, and they were with the Flying Dutchman as well. And I think you got to pick how the ending of that episode was to happen. And I think the ending that ended up happening the uh, was that he became a vegetarian so he could eat SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward, who had then turned into vegetables at the end of that episode. If I'm remembering correctly, I believe that was the episode.
That sounds about right.
So yeah, we turned him vegetarian, people. I will sit here and I will believe that until I'm blue in the face. We picked that ending, everyone. Just saying. Could have been a
So
better.
yeah, Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, Gilligan's Island, the original pilot that was filmed in 1964 is shown on TBS for the very first time. And Doug, yours was from 2019. So what happened on yours on October 16th?
So Netflix and on October 16th, 2019 announces that Sandra Bullock's movie Bird Box and TV series Stranger Things are the most popular content that year.
Wow.
Never saw Bird Box, never seen Stranger Things.
Well, I've never seen Bird Box. I have dived into Stranger Things a little bit because my son likes it. Sorry, everybody. 3 episodes, I said. But yeah, my son likes Stranger Things, even though I feel like he kind of skips around certain episodes. And I've never watched like 3 full episodes back to back to back. So I feel like because I he started on season 1, but he was he very fast that I start to see season 2, and I don't think he watched all of season 1 because I think he got the Netflix recap at the beginning of season 2 to tell him what happened in season 1, which is a
Gotcha.
nifty button, I might add, that Netflix does when Netflix has a series and you're getting the next season, they do a really good job at filling you in on what happened previously. I just want to say
Well, because
that.
more often than not, it takes a year.
I know, for real.
You got to be like, oh, right, this show was a thing, and I was watching it, and I'm interested.
So, all right.
Yeah, so I got to imagine if they did it for 2021, it was probably. I know the TV series was probably Squid Game. I couldn't tell you the movie that would
Oh,
be
I
most popular.
I could tell you the movie. It would be Squid Game for the TV series and Red Notice for
Red Notice, of course. Yeah,
yeah, Red Notice for the movie because I believe
I forgot that was Netflix.
yeah, the Rock broke all sorts of records apparently with that movie because he said his movie was the #1 watched movie of all time on Netflix within 3 or 4 days of it being on Netflix.
I did forget that um, Red Notice was Netflix. I the only thing I know from Red Notice is that goddamn golden egg.
Oh, so you never sat down to watch the movie? It's a good movie.
Hell no, I ain't got nobody. Ain't nobody got time.
Everybody had time, Doug.
Well, no, I'm definitely not gonna watch it.
But yeah, I'll vouch for it. It was a funny movie, and me and the family sat down. It took us 2 days to watch the entire thing because we had other things going on, but it was a really good movie. So I will vouch that it was really good. And
Did you now be honest with me? Did you watch it before or after Survivor Series?
after, well, we started it before Survivor Series, and then we finished it after Survivor Series.
Oh, okay. So you already knew it was a thing.
Yeah, yeah, I knew about the egg and all that because
Okay.
we got like 45 minutes in, and then we had to stop it. I believe when we started the movie, I think the reason we had to stop it was because my son had school the following day. That the movie had come. Well, from when we watched it. My son had school the next day, so we couldn't stay up to watch the entire thing. So we finished it, I believe, after. Yeah, it was after Survivor Series because um,
Gotcha.
I remember they were running that stupid 2 day angle with Austin Theory and the Golden Egg.
He's gonna win the Rumble.
He is gonna win the motherfucking Rumble. He's gonna win the title.
He might as well. Why not?
He's gonna win the damn time. No, he's gonna get all the way to the main event and he's gonna lose. And Vince is gonna
Vince
be
is gonna
pissed.
he's gonna quit.
He's gonna sell the company to Disney, everybody. You heard it here first.
He's gonna sell. That's exactly it.
So, all right.
I've had it.
So, all right, you ready to dive into this week's episode, Doug?
I definitely am.
All right. So,
Close some of these tabs here.
so the narrator tried to cut Ash as much slack as he could. I feel like the narrator kind of ad-libbed and they just kept it in here. Because I'm going to read to you, everybody, what this narrator said at the beginning of this episode. Even though Ash has tried to train for the Pokemon League competition, he still has a lot to learn. So him and his friends, oh shit, it's going fast as fuck. So him and his friends have decided to get some last minute advice from Professor Oak. And that's where this week's episode starts. And they are inside of Professor Oak's office. They're looking at a machine that looks like it has some water just twirling around, making kind of a tornado effect inside. And he's like, let's save yourself some embarrassment. He's like, I'm asking Professor O. He's like, you see, we planned on training a whole lot more, but we kept getting sidetracked. So what can Ash do to trade for this Pokemon League, Doug?
Like, oh, I could use a little bit of, could use some pointers there, Prof. And Professor Oak gets all dramatic and says it's a bit too late for pointers, young man. And he's fucking gigantic, and he says if you're not ready for the Pokemon League now, you should go home.
Yeah, don't
And,
even
and
don't
try
even
again.
don't even enter the Pokemon League if you're not ready.
And but then he's like, if you're serious about competing, you should probably get out right now and do whatever bit of training you have left. And it takes off, and you don't need Pokemon cards.
He runs out of the office, and we get this little montage of him running out of the office. And it looks like he's running out of his house now. And Professor Oak, Brock, and Misty and Togepi are standing right there. But Ash forgot his backpack, so good old Mrs. Ketchum brings out his backpack for
Probably forgot his clean underwear too.
him.
And she's trying to be the motherly thing. She's like, "Oh, don't worry. You probably trained more than you realized, and you'll be all right. You're gonna give him hell." And Misty and Brock are thanking her for letting him stay, and she's just being a good old wholesome mom. And she says goodbye to Togepi and Pikachu, and Mr. Mime's sweeping because that's all he's bred to do, and.
And let's just say, I mean, Professor Oak has no reason to be there. I mean, but we all know why Professor Oak is there as Ash is leaving because the kids are finally leaving the house.
Jesus Christ.
Come on. They set it up every single time. Why is he always with Mrs. Ketchum every single time that Ash is leaving? Every single
They're
time.
in a book club. They're in a book club, you pervert.
So the narrator then comes back in and he's like, and so our heroes finally leave Pallet Town on their journey to the Indigo Plateau for the long awaited Pokemon League. And it's now 2 minutes and 30 seconds. and we get the title sequence that says "Bad to the Bone." And we come out.
And
Oh, sorry. I'll let you do this next part, Doug.
they're walking and they're smack in the middle of this field of tall grass because who the fuck needs roads?
Yeah.
And Brock's got the map. He's like, well, this must be a shortcut. And all of a sudden they see a figure flash by him and they're like, what was that? And then they lose track of him, and all of a sudden he's on top of him. He looks like he's literally coming out of the sun, and he comes down and he lands and he strikes the samurai pose. And he says, "Who is that?" And Misty says, "Oh, what are you scaring me for? Or scaring us for? I was merely testing you. If you're you appear to be traveling for the Pokemon League, is that correct?" And yeah, and he says, "Well, I'm Otashi," and he says, "I challenge you." And Ash is kind of caught off guard, which is ridiculous because he's a trainer. He should be ready to take on a battle at moment's notice. But he says, "I've trained for a long time alone in the mountains, and I seek one last battle to test my strength before the Pokemon League." So somebody, at least in this field, is getting prepared.
And
And I forgot about this.
yeah, he walks away and he's like, what did you just say? He's like, if you're afraid of losing to me in a private match, and Ash doesn't like being called out, and um, he's like, if you're scared of losing the Pokemon League, then to me, then you shouldn't even be ready for the Pokemon League. He's like, lose your badges now or lose them later. So he wants Ash to put all of his Pokemon badges on the line for one measly battle. Boy, I would have looked at this kid and said, you know what? I'm not scared of losing to you, but I'm not dumb enough to put my badges on the line, asshole.
He can kiss the fattest part of my ass, boy. I tell you.
Would you put
Um,
your badges on the line, Doug?
hell no.
Exactly. I wish they
I
had.
er, I
I wish they had that option in the video game. I would wipe the floor clean with whoever I'm about to battle.
I if I'm Ash, I'm sitting there going, I legitimately earned at least half of these. Um,
Good line. Good line.
so Ash basically gets his punk card thrown at him, so they're nose to nose now. They're gonna battle, and Otashi has a Marowak, and Ash remembers he has a Bulbasaur, and we find out.
Misty is worried, by the way, that he's going to lose this battle and lose his badges. But Ash is like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna win."
And he's cocky Ash now because his hat's backwards. He's like, well, I guess I could use a warm up, and I was like, what? So the last 3 months he was basically just jacking off.
Literally.
God, it
What?
took this dude to challenge you for all your badges to be like, I should train, shouldn't I?
And is it me or I kind of feel like he's seen a Marowak in the past? I could have
Well,
sworn that he has.
Cubone was at the academy. I don't know if they evolved.
No, well, no, he didn't. Okay, so maybe he hasn't seen a Marowak. Okay, but
So,
but Dexter says despite its small size, its offensive and defensive strength is impressive. So basically, Dexter's saying that Marowak packs a bone. Ba-bum.
oh, it's even worse than Brock straight up dropping the title of the episode, saying, "Watch out, Ash! Marowak is bad to the bone." As a fuck.
or
But
or it's worse than my nickname that I gave you a couple weeks ago that nobody heard.
like I say, you had a chance to redo it, but you chose to go in a different direction.
Yeah, I was nicer. Even though I didn't think I was being mean at first until it came out of my mouth.
Until it came. If I had a nickel for every time I said that.
All right, Doug,
Yes.
the battle sequence.
So right. So Bulbasaur goes to use Vine Whip. Um but Marowak is using psychic energy to um stall Bulbasaur, and he's using his quickness is building up. He swipes at Bulbasaur with a bone club, and we get the anime moment of Bulbasaur's not moving. He's not moving. He falls. So
And
Bulbasaur is out, and Misty's immediately like, "Well, Ash is fucked, isn't he?" And Pikachu comes out, and he says, "Watch out for the Bone Club," because no shit, it's not like he hasn't been standing there this whole time.
I know.
And Pikachu is using its agility, and Marowak's just swinging, and Pikachu's dodging, and it doesn't seem to be like showing any effects. And
This is
for
and
some reason,
this is bullshit.
yeah, it is.
Pikachu used Thundershock and completely fried this Marowak. Thundershock does not affect Marowak. In the video game, it says this move is not effective because of its damn bone on its head.
Right, the bone should absorb the blow or the
Yes,
the force or whatever the fuck. Yeah,
but it fried this Marowak. It's bullshit.
and it wasn't even like I didn't even feel like he had all his oomph into it. It was just, oh, here's Thundershock to warm me up. And no, he's out. Like, oh,
And Ash is like, he's like, looks like I win all my badges, or no, I win all the badges. Now, shouldn't this kid have won the battle because Ash had to use two Pokemon to his one Pokemon?
yes,
So technically, that kid should have won, right?
yeah.
Okay. I
It's
I
like
I, I
Ash was.
I just want to make sure that I was thinking the right way.
I mean, I don't. In the battle's defense, it was not specified that it was 1v1 or 2v2 or I've only got Marowak or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of bogus that you know, dude won. Like it turned out to just be a best one out of two falls, but only if Ash wins one fall. Like that's weird.
it's very well. I think Marowak was his only Pokemon too. I don't know, but after the battle, Ash is like, all right, well, I won the match, so give me your Pokemon badges because the kid said that he was going to put his Pokemon badges up on the line as well. Winner takes all, and then come to find out, the kid has zero badges. He has
he
none.
was a he was a scammer.
Yeah. So he was going to take Ash's Pokemon League badges and enter the Pokemon League. And he's like, Marowak was my strongest Pokemon. And I thought that I could win the Pokemon League. So I was just going to take your badges, enter the Pokemon League, and win the Pokemon League without having to walk around the um, Kanto region and get my badges the right way, which is bullshit. I would have been mad.
Well, no, I mean you're jumping ahead on this poor kid because that's what it seems. And Ash kind of was like you. He's like, I'm not falling for your little scheme. And he's like, you don't understand. I went through the shit. I got my 8 badges, and we got a little montage of Marowak just hitting everybody, um, including having what looks like a pretty intense back and forth battle with Magmar at the volcanic gym.
Yep.
And he's like, "But I got him stolen from me." And Ash is much like the viewer at this point. He said, "What happened to him?" Pardon me. And he says, I had just earned my last badge, and I was heading towards the Indigo Plateau, and we get a flashback, and he's sitting there and he's bouncing them on his hand, which is dumb on the face of it.
Yeah, you
And
you should have those put away in a safe spot.
right, or at least up your butt or something where nobody's going to get them. Nothing for up your butt. Anyway, fine. Um,
And then they see a
and
bunch of scrumptious food just sitting on the ground, and they're so hungry from their travels that they run over to this food, and then they fall into a hole where the food was, so the food falls in with them. He drops his badges. Team Rocket picks up the badges and puts them in their own case, and they're like, "Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So thank you for the Pokemon badges."
they skidoo and they left the bag, which was nice of them.
Yeah.
And
Now
then
I have a problem with this though, Doug.
I have lots of problems.
Okay. Um, didn't it get said like yonder ago that all if you lose your badge, all you have to do is ask them to replace it, and they will replace your badge because you earned that badge?
They did, but it was never made clear as to how they would have proof that he had the badge in the first place.
Because he beat the gym leaders. He would have to contact the gym leaders
Oh,
and in order to have them ship over, because I would think you could ship over a badge, just put it inside of a Pokeball and ship it via Pokemon Center, and it can be yours again.
oh yeah, you're spot on.
But I mean, they're trying to make us seem like we're stupid. But I mean, maybe I wouldn't have thought of this at 10 years old or whenever I was watching this episode. I was 9 years old when this episode came out.
Well,
So
and put yourself in the shoes of this trainer here. Um, so you've gone through the heartache of having your badges stolen in the first place because that was obviously a flashback, and you're walking along and you see this rube in a baseball cap, and you're thinking this guy might be an easy mark, and you have an unspecified battle, which is your fault in the first place because you didn't lay down the rules. You win the first fall, so you think, oh shit, we're in like Flint, we're golden. And this Pikachu comes in, gets what I'm gonna call a lucky shot on him. One Pokemon, and your whole idea goes up in smoke. Do you think you're gonna have the foresight to go, oh, my badges were stolen, I've got to get to the nearest Pokemon Center, and I can get everybody on the horn, and I can set up replacements? No, I'm gonna cry.
yeah, I probably would have too. But I
I
mean,
don't I don't know if I would I don't know if I would run the winner take all battle scheme, but I think I would cry for a while.
you're probably right. You're probably 100% right. So, all right. All right. So, Doug, you want to take this next part of the scene
so,
after we get back from Team Rocket stealing his Pokemon badges?
so yeah, he's sitting there, he's on his hands and knees, he's crying, he says all our struggles are for nothing. We were so close to being in the Pokemon League, and now we've got Diddley, and Marowak is all he's sullen, and Misty's like, who could do such a thing? And Brock's like, they stole your badges in your dream, and Pikachu's trying to cheer him up, and uh, Otashi says all our dreams were stolen by a talking Meowth, and that's like just everybody standing there. It just clicks,
Talking me out. That must have
'cause-
been Team Rocket.
and they say, "Well, that's easy. We run into them 3 times a week." Um,
Yeah, because Ash is
and
like, "Don't worry, we'll get your badges back for you." and we'll get them back before the start of the competition.
Yeah, because they're bound to run into us sometime. It's been, the episode's been on for 8 minutes, and we haven't seen them yet. Then I don't understand why we had to go through a montage of Ash getting his badges.
Well, I mean, because Ash is not. I mean, Ash isn't stupid. I mean, we had to because the next episode is with the Pokemon League. So he opens up his jacket and there's all his badges. He doesn't have a nice little place like Gary. Gary has a little case, or he doesn't put them inside of a little baggie like a Tashi. Like, no, his are inside of his jacket, so he can just open his jacket at the moment and just go,
Oh,
"What's that?"
I just coughed. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Uh, um, and he can open up his jacket at a whim and just be like, "Yeah, I'm on my way to the Pokemon League," even though Gary has 10 badges and he has 8.
Well, Gary was just doing a victory lap. Um, and you're probably listening to this going, "Well, isn't Ash concerned about getting his vest stolen?" And my answer
No.
to that is no, because he uses it as a pillow.
I mean, that must be an uncomfortable pillow because you would think those are like pins. So what if you accidentally loosen one of those pins and it just pokes you like right in your cheek?
Or what if you loosened one of them and they fell out, and the next day when you're like, check out all my badges, and he's only got 7 of them.
Oh my gosh, where's my other badge? And then Brock would be like, well, just call up the gym leader and have him send you over another one in a Pokeball. Boom.
Oh, okay. All right. We're good. All right. We're fine. Well, and Brock would probably have an in because he was a trainer or a gym leader, rather.
Yeah.
So he would probably have like the number for like instant contact or something.
But yeah, back to your point, Doug. We do get the montage of Ash earning every single one of his badges, and it's pretty cool. Because uh we get the we get the sequence that he's used a different Pokemon for every single badge that he has earned. And I want to point that out. Like every single badge that he's earned, he's used a different Pokemon outside of the Thunder badge and the Boulder badge. Because he used Pikachu for both of those. But every single other badge, he's used a different Pokemon. He's used Bulbasaur, Pidgeotto, he used Charizard, he used Charmander when Charizard was a baby still and still listening to him. Like he's used different Pokemon and he's had different techniques for every single one of his badges.
Yeah, it's a good time to remind us that even though Ash has been fucking around for a month, he does have other Pokemon that he could have been training
This whole time.
this whole damn time.
So, but then we come out of the montage and he's sitting there. I feel like he was just bragging to this kid. Yeah, I got all my badges. All my badges are right here.
I got them safe. I use my badges as a pillow, basically. I'm fine. I'm traveling with 2 gym leaders if it comes down to it. Honestly, I'm
but
secure.
but Ash gets all pissed off and he offers his hand to Atashi and he's like, "We're gonna get your badges back if it's the last thing that we do, even though you're on your way to the Pokemon League." And I'm sorry. Okay, am I selfish for? I mean, you're days away now, and you're traveling to the Indigo Plateau. You're possibly going to be late, kind of foreshadowing future episodes. Um, you're almost going to be late to the Pokemon League, but you're willing on helping this kid who, if you don't get these badges back in enough time, you might not be able to compete in the Pokemon League yourself because you have to register once you get there.
Yes, but you see, Ash is a babyface, therefore he's an idiot.
Big ass idiot.
And he can't turn down somebody in peril, even
Yeah,
though this dude was all but prepared to steal from him if he'd won the battle, which he won. But let's not get into that again.
I know, for real.
I mean, for goodness sake.
So, all right, Doug, go ahead and take on this next part of the scene.
So
Team
after
Rocket.
Ash picks up, yes, I was going to say, after Ash picked up Hitachi and resolved to get his badges back, we see the Team Rocket balloon, and James and Meowth are having a gay old laugh, saying, "Can you believe he actually fell for that fruit? I mean, I've heard of slipping on a banana peel, but that's ridiculous." And Meowth's like, "If it was going to be that easy, we would have run this trick before and gotten a bunch of trainers." And pardon me. And then James gets down to Meowth's level and goes, "Go get all those beautiful badges. I want to look at them again." Meowth says, "That's a good idea." And he's in there and he's chucking things around and he says, "They're gone."
and,
And
and come to find out, freaking Jesse stole the damn badges. What a bitch.
and she, yeah, because James says Jessie has a little shopping to do in town, and she did have a square package. And Meowth's like, "James, you idiot! She stole the badges." She would never. It cut to Jessie with the badges over her shoulder, just um she's happy because she's like, "I finally got me my own set of badges. I can enter the Pokemon League, and I'm gonna be the world's most talented and glamorous trainer." And she has a fantasy sequence of her standing in the center ring with fans cheering and the confetti's coming down.
Because in her
And
head,
she's like,
she just won the Pokemon League.
she said, "I am gonna be it. I'm gonna be the top of the mountain. I'm gonna be number one." And she's just laughing her full head clean off. And what a perfect time for the Who's That Pokemon.
And who's that Pokemon this week, Doug?
It is Moltres.
And Moltres is a symbolism because Moltres is a part of next week's episode. So
I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
So, um, so all right. So we come back from commercial break and the Who's That Pokemon, and we come to find Pidgeotto just circling around, and Pidgeotto is looking for Team Rocket, and Ash is like, "Pidgeotto, have you seen Team Rocket yet?" And Pidgeotto just goes away, and they're like, "It looks like Pidgeotto has found them." And then we see Team Rocket's balloon because Meowth and James are pissed off, especially Meowth. Meowth is so mad. And here comes Ash and everybody running up to the Team Rocket balloon, and they're like, "Hey, get back here! You need to give this kid back his badges." And Meowth has to kind of break the news. "Well, I wish I could give it back to you, but we don't have the badges."
Yeah, we ain't got them, fam. But
And
of course,
freaking Pidgeotto had to freaking pop the balloon, not even knowing that they don't have the balloon. I felt bad for them for a second. They're like, "Damn, shot down."
I mean, I don't, because what has Team Rocket done up to this point to get even a shred of the benefit of the doubt?
True. True.
I mean, Team Rocket was in an absolute no-win situation, and they're all crowding around him, and Misty's like, "Yeah, well, I want to see everything you got in that damn balloon." And we cut to everything Team Rocket has in front of them on two blankets, and it's a hairbrush, some half-eaten food, a couple of colored pencils, some shine polish for Meowth's charm. There's the rose from the motto, some broken sunglasses, some pictures, some makeup,
Some bottle cap collection.
auto cap collection, which could have passed as imitation badges if you really wanted to.
Yeah, for
Looks like
real.
some pogs, maybe some pop tabs,
So
and Brock's sitting there like, this is some junk. And James throws himself on top and says, this all has sentimental value. And Togepi just starts dancing for whatever the fuck.
so but Meowth has to break the news that they don't have the badges. Marowak is basically cursing out Atashi, and he's like, "You're such a weak trainer. How could you lose all of those badges that I helped you win? And you're a disgrace. And we're never going to get those badges back now because Jessie has taken these badges, and she's far away, and Team Rocket doesn't even know where she's at right now." And Marowak is laying it in on Atashi, and then Marowak is just like, you know what? I give up. I don't want you to be my trainer anymore. And Meowth is basically paraphrasing for him, and Atashi tries to grab Marowak, and Marowak just flicks his arm up to get him from touching him, and he's like, "Get your hands off him." And Atashi is astonished, and he's like, "Oh no!" And Marowak just starts walking away. He's like, "I've had it. I'm done. Goodbye," and he just walks away.
And Atashi is crestfallen. He's like, he starts to say I, and he corrects himself, and he goes, we were so close. I don't know what we're gonna do. And Meowth just said one smart ass thing too many. He's like, well, maybe you could buy a ticket. And Atashi just picks him up and just starts throttling him.
He's like, it's all your fault. Damn, I felt bad. This was bad.
Well, I don't know who I felt worse for. I mean, obviously you feel for Atashi, right?
Yes.
Because he was just a victim of circumstance with the fruit trap in the first place. And but like Arawak was Tashi's Pokemon.
Yes.
Like unless there was a handshake agreement, like they came across each other in the wild and he's like, hey buddy, I'm gonna be a Pokemon trainer, but I need a Pokemon. And I'm gonna go to the Pokemon League. And Marowak was like, all right, bet. Like that's not how this works.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
So
we've never seen Marowak come out of his Pokeball. Did he come out?
well, that's he did not.
So I mean,
Oh,
maybe
wait. Did he?
no, he did not. He's always been with Atashi, and he kind of walks like Pikachu. So I mean, could there be that underline that he's just a partner of Atashi?
Hold on. I'm getting. Nope, he came out of a Pokeball.
Okay, so yeah, he just walked away. So man, he said, "Fuck
Mir-
Atashi."
Marowak pulled a Stone Cold and took his. Well, he took his bone and went home. But like, I ain't jobbing to Brock Lesnar on TV.
So it's at this point, Team Rocket starts to fly away, and Meowth is like, "We gotta find Jesse. We're in some hot doo doo right now." So they start flying away. You see the patch where Pidgeotto busted the balloon. They have a big old band aid over it, and they start floating away. And it's at this moment right now that we see Jessie just giggling, and she's walking away. She's like, even James and Meowth will never recognize me in this disguise. She looks like she's wearing an outfit from Aladdin. She looks like she's wearing an outfit straight out of the film Aladdin. She's walking around, and she comes across another trainer, and the trainer is dumb and just sitting there, and he's gazing at his badges, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm getting ready to go into the Pokemon League." and I'm so ready. So apparently all these trainers are getting ready and they're just gazing at all of their badges. And she's like, "Hello there, trainer. Looks like you have badges that I have. Take a peek at my collection." And um he shows her his as well, and he's like, "Here, take a look at mine." And you see all the different types of badges, and those badges look nicer than Ash's badges. I just want to throw that out there.
He was hitting up some of the same badges that or same gyms that Gary was.
Yeah. So,
Um,
oh, you did you recognize that?
no, well, no, I mean that was my rationale. I mean, unless there's just a ton of gyms in the Kanto region that we didn't know about, which is, I guess, possible.
Yeah. So it's at this point that um she's like, "Ooh, those badges look really nice, and you can never have too many badges." So now Jesse is getting greedy, and
Yes.
and from the distance we have James and Meow looking through binoculars down at Jesse, and James is like, "Are you sure that's Jesse down there?" And Meow is looking, and he's, or no, Meowth was like, are
Flip
you,
it. Yeah.
yeah, Meowth was like, "Are you sure that's Jesse down there?" And James is like, "I'm positive. I know our disguises, and I know how she wears her outfits, and that's 100% Jesse down there trying to wear a disguise so she's not noticeable." And we go through a montage of different outfits that they have worn throughout the whole Pokemon episodes that we have watched thus far. And it's just funny because the last one was James in a tutu.
Well, he's got the legs for it. So the balloon lands, and and Jesse basically does the whole hey, look over there, and the trainer looks away, all the while never closing his badge container, and Jesse's about to just reach in and snatch him when all of a sudden a smoke bomb comes out of nowhere and just explode. I guess explodes, but that's not the right word. And uh, smoke goes everywhere, and Jesse starts coughing, and
And they're like, "What's going on here?" And James starts to model "Prepare for Trouble," and that sparks Jesse's like mind. She's like, "Oh, this is James." She's like, "Prepare for trouble," and James like, "Yes, and make it double." And then they start going through the model.
and basically James, like in the blink of an eye, goes from being pissed at Jesse to being on the same side, and um, the the trader that she was about to steal from gets spooked and runs, and then James is like, "Oh right, I was pissed at you. What the hell was that about?"
And Jesse just starts crying. She was like, "I was so close to getting some more badges until you came through and had to ruin everything."
And Meowth is like indignant. He's like, "Well, you can steal from some kid, but not us. You know, we're teammates. Didn't you just call me friend a couple episodes ago?"
And Jesse's like, "The moment in the spotlight is over." And Meowth is like, "We could steal more badges from some individuals." And Jesse's like, "All right, as long as," what did she say? As long as, let's see,
Come on, catch up caption. Come on.
let's see.
Oh,
Oh no, she says, "As long as I'm the rottenest." And freaking James and Meowth just do the animation fall over,
nah.
and then we see Atashi with Ash, Misty, Brock, and Pikachu, and they're like, "Give us the badges, or give Atashi his badges back, and give it back right now." And just
And
like, if you want them back, you have to challenge me at the Pokemon battle. And he's like, those badges are mine, but I accept your challenge. He's like, but you don't have Marowak. He's like, I'll use a different Pokemon for this battle. So we
so
find
I'm
out.
sitting here. I threw my hands up at this point because I had forgotten that he had a second Pokemon, and I'm sitting there going, "What the hell were we doing?"
Well,
It could have been a two. It could have been a 2v2.
exactly. Now, I'm kind of pissed off because when we watched that montage,
It
Marowak,
was all Marowak.
yeah, all Marowak, Marowak was the one that won all of those badges for him, which is why Marowak is probably pissed off.
Yeah. So Marowak, I might, I might be more on Marowak's side than I realized.
So, but yeah, he Jesse throws out Arbok and he throws out a Doduo and he's like, I don't know about this. And then we come to Marowak, um, and he's walking in the field and he walks up to a bunch of trainers that's training for the Pokemon League. And we have some trainers that just don't look like they should be training Pokemon at all. Like we have a guy that's just jumping up and down with his Nidoran. He's like, keep jumping. Just jump, 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 jump. And
Yeah,
then
but Chansey's over there playing catch for goodness sakes. At least the guy with Hitmonlee is doing kick pads.
for real, the guy with Hitmonlee, he's doing the kick pads as you noted. And Marowak starts thinking about him and Natashi, and he's like, "It's just you and me." And he hears Natashi's voice in his head, and then he thinks back to him and Natashi just sitting underneath a waterfall because water is Marowak's weakness, and he's like, "Don't move because the water is hurting Marowak." And he's like, "I know the training is hard, but we can get through this together." Natashi says, and then we get a montage of Marowak going through a flaming circle, and Atashi is like, "That's the spirit of Marowak. You know what? I'm gonna do it with you." And he jumps through the circle and he catches himself on fire. And then,
Great reaction. Great reaction shot by Marowak. Just complete eyes bug out.
yeah, he's like, oh shit, I gotta put him out. And then another spot of them just eating lunch together and just having a grand old time. Like I don't see any of his other Pokemon, which
Yeah,
is
I mean
what
it,
it's gonna play into this next scene in just a second. But
and Marowak comes back to present day, and he's got the anime shimmering tears, and he turns back to go find Atashi, and we join the battle in process, and Doduo is getting absolutely housed.
yes,
Um, and then Doduo's heads start bickering,
at each
and
other.
and then this is apparently an opportune time for Ash to pull out Dexter, even though he's seen a Do trio.
Yeah, he's seen a Dotrio, not a Doduo. So, um, we found.
Okay, so can you just not like? Could Ash be sitting at lunch and just type in like, I want to find out a fact about Raichu. Could he not just
Oh, he
punch that
could.
in? Or
Yeah, he could punch it in, and it's so weird because the benefit that he has that we didn't have in the Game Boy is he could find any Pokemon with Dexter, but he doesn't pull it out into. But I guess when it scans the Pokemon, that's what we found out when Ash and Gary were trading their shots back at Professor Oak's lab. Ash takes out his Dexter every single time he sees a Pokemon. Gary only studies the Pokemon that he currently has.
right.
So I guess there's a difference, and it helps Professor Oak with his studies because I guess it takes the satellite, whatever, from whatever Pokemon professor is in the area, and it puts that information back in Dexter, I'm guessing, and Professor Oak gets to then study it when he brings it back. That's what I think that's what it is. I think
That sounds good to me.
yeah, it sounds good to me too. I just talked myself into it. I say
Talk
that it works on satellite and it brings back information for Professor Oak to then study up on his Pokemon literature. There you go.
There you go.
But back to the battle. Jessie is laughing, and she tries to steal the Doodle, um, while Arbok has it in a bind. But then here comes a bone flying out of nowhere, and it's Marowak. And Marowak is coming back to save Doodle and to help Atashi. So, Doug, you want to take this battle on?
Right. So Marowak's bone boomerangs back, and Tashi's like, you came back, and Marowak gives it a knowing nod, and Tashi starts to tear up, and Atashi's able to call back Duduo, and um, Arbok goes charging at Marowak. Marowak uses focus energy like he used on um, Bulbasaur, and Marowak uses double edge and hits a nice swipe on Arbok, and then
James throws
um,
out wheezing.
yeah, because Arbok is basically done for after Bone Meringue, and then Ash just apropos of nothing just jumps in and just says, "Hey, just why don't you finish this battle that wasn't ours, Pikachu?" And you know,
and
Thunderbolt,
and Thundershock.
Thundershock, and um, Team Rocket tries to flee into the balloon, but Marowak throws his club up, and the balloon explodes. Which how strong is that club?
For real.
Um, and as Team Rocket is hurtling towards the sun, Jesse says, "My chance at stardom was stolen from me," and James says, "Please don't mention stealing." And Meow says, "Tell me you at least grabbed a banana for the trip." And then
They're
their little
blasting off
star
again.
ding, and and then Atashi and Marowak have a moment in the field. Um, thanks for coming back, and remembering that you're a Pokemon, for goodness sakes, and that I caught you.
So it's at this point Atashi looks inside the box, makes sure all of his badges are there, and then Brock reminds Ash, "We it's nice that we helped Atashi, but we really need to get going to the Pokemon League." And Ash is like, "Oh, that's right. We got to go." He's like, "Are you ready, Pikachu?" And then they start um on their travels down, and then they come up to where they see a sign in the far distance, and that apparently they can read it. And Brock is like, "Right down this path is the Indigo Plateau, home of the Pokemon League this year." And Ash is gleaming from ear to ear, and he's like, "It's about damn time." And
And they're running as the sun is setting, and nice silhouette, and off in the distance we see mountains, and we get a good to be continued, and we're just that much closer to actually getting some shit that matters.
finally, and we're done. Doug, we're done. The
Oh
journey is
gosh.
over. And
Oh,
we're about to enter the Pokemon League finally. We're about to get some 4 or 5 star episodes, hopefully.
watch us finally get there in 3.5.
Yeah, for real. But all right. Well, that was what a journey, Doug. We have gone through every Pokemon episode, including the banned ones, all the way up to now, to where Ash is getting ready to challenge for his first Pokemon League. This is exciting. I'm excited.
I'm exhausted.
So am I. I'm probably gonna end my night with some NXT. It better be a good damn episode. That's all
I
I.
think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna. I mean, it's NXT, so temper your expectations. But it looks like it's a good show. I mean, we're gonna get a little bit of Walter versus Riddle, for goodness sake.
Yeah. So, but all right. Well, we still have a Pokemon pack, and Doug, since this is your final pack, I'm going to have you go second this week. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my pack, and hopefully you'll get a good pack as well. I'm doing a Sword and Shield fusion pack, and I got a white card, which means that this pack is gonna fucking be a dud pack. God damn it. All
Got
right.
a. I'm doing a Chilling Rain, and I got a black border. I can't remember.
So you got a black border, but is the card white or green in the middle?
In the mid, well, there's a little bit of everything.
Well, on your card, let me check some previous.
Oh no, it's white. It's white.
Okay, so you got a good pack. So good. I'm
Good.
having you go last.
Oh, okay.
All right. So Doug, what energy am I about to look at?
Fighting.
Damn. No, it's a leaf green.
Ah, poop.
So I have a Leaf Energy, a Ninetales, a what the hell is that? A Togemaru.
The hell is that?
I got a Quick Ball, a
I bet
Stuffle.
you do.
I got a Stuffle. I got a Sandy Gas, a Plusle, a Vulpix, a Melton, a reverse hollow Starmie, and a non-hollow Cloyster. So yeah, a dud pack. So Doug, how are you ending off this week's episode?
Don't know what energy this is.
What does it look like?
It's white.
It's white. Is it like a triangle symbol?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a metal energy.
Metal energy. A old cemetery trainer card.
Okay.
A reverse hollow Avery trainer card.
Ooh, okay.
All the heat on the trainer cards, for goodness sake.
Like, give me some Pokemon.
A Stene. Steenee.
Steenee.
Yeah.
A Steenie.
Steenie.
Yep.
A trainer. Dina Tree Hill. So I'm just pulling all the trainers. A Hadarena.
Okay.
A Subble.
Okay. Nice, nice.
Bonus Suite.
Okay.
Another for you. So that's two of them this pack.
Okay.
A Diglett.
Okay.
And I put the Steenie down? I didn't put the Steenie down. It's like I didn't get two of them. Like I say, and I got a. It's a single strike. Ursafu.
Ursafu? Okay. Nice.
And it's shiny.
Nice. So good job, Doug. Good pack.
Okay.
All right. So there we go. We are officially done. Doug, we have done 3 episodes in a row. We have dedicated over 3 hours to this podcast in one day. How do you feel?
I'm exhausted.
So am I. So, all right, let's go ahead and end this because I think we deserved it.
NXT and Dynamite better be worth it.
For real. All right, so go ahead and say goodbye, Doug.
Bye, Doug.
And everybody. And I'm giving you fair warning. We are back to the 1 episode per week starting next week. And I'm not going to hold it back. We will go ahead and go through with the Pokemon League episode since we're here now. And then we will have, I don't know. I'm not sure if we'll have Black and White. I know we have some special guests lined up. So we will have a special guest next week. Next Friday is when the episode will drop. Should we do Friday or Tuesday? I say Friday.
Probably Friday if we're just back to 1 a week.
Yep. So we're back to 1 a week now. And next Friday is when we will start our Pokemon League episodes. And we have a special guest. And so far, as we know it right now, if something changes, I will change it on this outro. But it seems like we have our Patreon guest that's getting ready to come on to this very first episode to open up our Pokemon League guest list. So we will see you next Friday and have a good night, everybody.